Errol was a terrific fighter. Let's just pause and reflect for a second. Errol Christie, who passed last week. Now, by way of tribute, we're going to show an interview that Barry and I did with Errol at ringside at York Hall a couple of years ago. But Barry, I'm going to just ask you for a couple of Errol Christie. You kind of knew from the way I was last week that he wasn't long for this earth.
It's horrible because I hope he doesn't get forgotten, and that's always a fear when someone doesn't win a world title. But Errol was
British.
Yeah, amazingly, it's amazing.
Staggering.
But Errol was a beautiful boxer. I mean, absolutely beautiful, and maybe one of the most purest boxers that we've ever produced. Steve really was, and I think in any other era, he was a world champion.
Well, the way I look at it is that if super middleweight had been around, it would have been comfortable for him. He could have just moved to super middleweight. He would have reduced all sorts of problems, which led to all sorts of problems, and it would have just been, well, it had been plain, no disrespect, it had been plain sailing for him.
To be honest, I think the no super middleweight having to move up, to like Tepe and having the Sayers fight, that.
Yeah, Jose Sayers, 14th fight.
That fight, I think that was maybe a start that showed a little bit of a chink in his armour. Before that, he looked unstoppable.
But it's interesting, the Jose Sayers fight, everyone talks about that. Errol gave away officially £9. I think it was an awful lot more. That's because who was afraid of a Belgian with a ridiculous feather cut? Nobody. However, if you look at it a bit closer, Sayers in his previous fight had been in South Africa, a stone heavier, fighting a man who in his next fight would win a world cruiserweight title. Anyway, as I said, we're going to try and make this tribute different because I don't want to just show dark pictures of Errol scuffling with Mark Cale or getting hit with right hands. I want to take you back to a time in about April or late March of 2015 when Barry and I were ringside at York Hall and I managed to get Errol to come along and stand with us. This, I assure you, is wonderful. I'd like a big welcome if I had someone that could put on one of those clapping machines for a man who was my idol growing up. And I'm 2 months younger than him, and yet he was my idol. So go figure. Errol Christie's with us on the stage. Errol.
Nice to see you, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Now, Errol, the reason you're here, apart from the fact that me and you have been in love with each other for about 40-odd years now, now the reason you're here is that you've had some very bad news just recently. Talk me through what's happened.
Well, right at the moment I'm battling with Mr. C, the big C, the cancer. So I've been attacked by some cancer, so I'm fighting off at the moment.
And how did you find out that you had, is it lung cancer? How did you find that out, Errol?
Well, I tell you, very surprising, because I think the Metropolitan Police, they helped me find out that I had cancer. I was having a problem with one of my eyes.
Yep.
And I went to...
That's the left eye?
The left eye. And I went to the doctors, they gave me a prescription. I went to get my prescription from Boots. And as I was in there waiting for my prescription, the police came in there. They were looking for someone from ISIS.
Well, they thought you were a terrorist.
They thought I was a terrorist. So they jumped on me because I wear the dark gear. So they jumped on me.
And you had your hood up?
I had a hood up, that's right. Well, the hood was down when I went in there, and they thought I was an ISIS supporter, and they jumped on me and they assaulted me in Boots at the time. So I went to the hospital to have these
because these guys had jumped on you, the police had jumped on you, mistaking you for a terrorist.
That's right. These are some big. I'm a big guy myself.
Yeah.
And these guys were really bigger than myself, and they attacked me in Boots in the store. So I went down to complain about my
because your ribs were sore.
Everywhere was sore, and they discovered a shadow on my lung.
But have you smoked?
I've never smoked. I've never in my life smoked. But I was saying, back in the old days, these places, it's a lovely place here. You can see the boxing properly. There's no cloud above the ring.
Smoke cloud.
Smoke cloud. Every time we went in the working men's club, there's always a big smoke cloud. I was applying for those.
So you go to the hospital, having the police having mistaken you for a terrorist. You go to hospital and with the sore ribs, they discover a shadow on your lung, and then you're diagnosed. What about 10 days ago with lung cancer? But you've already started treatment.
I've been on there for the chemo. I've been on my back for the chemo. We've had that. So I've got, I think, a few more sessions of that coming up. So treatment's still going on now.
So it's ongoing?
Ongoing.
Well, you're incredibly brave and good-humoured about it. It's like you're describing a shopping trip.
Well, I mean, what can I do? You know, that's faith, that's fate, and you know, this is the way I'm walking. So there's no point being miserable about it. Just got to get on with it.
Apart from the fact that your ribs were sore when all these police jumped on you, mistaking you for a terrorist.
Yeah, for a terrorist.
How do you feel in yourself?
At the moment, I feel good. I don't feel really bad. I just felt a bit bad about getting myself sick, being a sick person. I have to rely on people, especially my son, to help me around sometimes. But the battle goes on. There's no retreat, no surrender.
If you're checking on Google to make sure that Errol Christie is in the Guinness Book of Records, I'll tell you why he's in the Guinness Book of Records. And no other British amateur will ever be in the Guinness Book of Records because of the way the championship system has changed. The way it existed for about 60 years was that you won 4 schoolboy titles, then you won 2 junior ABA titles, and then you won 3 NABC titles, that's National Association of Boys Clubs. The last of those was at senior level. Then you won the ABA title. That's a total of 10, if I'm not mistaken. Now, no one has done it. No one has done it before, and no one has done it since. He's the only boxer in British history to have ever done it. Do you ever watch some of your old fights, El? I mean, your first sequence of fights, 13 fights, 12 by knockout.
I've never don't really replay my fights. I watch. I've never really
Don't
watched
live in the
my
past.
fights. No, I don't live in the past. But I'm very grateful for back in the old days. I was so lucky enough to live by Triumph Motors, and the family. Tom Gary, getting commentary. Tom Gary was my manager, and he was the great guy. He was the one that made it possible for me to win all those titles.
Are you still doing personal one-on-one sessions?
I do the odd one not as much as I used to, but I'm still involved in it.
I went to a gym in Kensington.
Oh, yes, kicks. My friends in kicks. That's right.
And they said kicks, yeah. And
Yeah,
he
kicks,
said,
kicks. My boys are kicks.
we got a boxer. And I said, well, who's that then? Because I go, well, I will tell.
Yeah.
Errol Christie, and I walked out the door.
Kicks.
I'm going to compete with that.
Brilliant.
I'm going to compete with that.
Yeah.